second clover mow of the year. Damn, does it look good. It looks really good. They got the alfalfa all mowed down too. About to bale that up. This marrow looks hot. Got a bunch of bucks on it. Clover's thick. It's also that time of year. You gotta take care of your water. A little D-muck from EH Defense. The backbone to every lick we've ever made. All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
Yeah. He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
That's what killed it. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
Ready?
Deer Shop Podcast, episode 144.
Yeah.
What our social media actually means, and banter. Me and Ethan in the shop Sunday, June 28th.
Another deer shop podcast.
Another deer shop podcast. Feels good. I like it. I like it a lot. When we were traveling around doing them in like basements and stuff, it just wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
It feels good to podcast here in the studio. I'm going to build one at my house though, still too.
Yeah.
So we have a secondary one
for sure.
The winter time.
When it's not so cold in there.
Yeah.
It's cold out here.
Yep. Like we said, beautiful Sunday in June. Weather's been mint. Beans are popping.
Yep.
Alfalfa's being harvested. Our hayfields got mowed.
Corn's getting high.
Corn's already knee high.
Yeah.
Bucks are looking like bucks.
Big bucks.
The bucks are looking like bucks. I don't know. We've done a lot of road scouting. We started the road scouting the last week. So if you're local and you see trucks driving around acting weird.
Or a little blue Ford Escape.
That's us. Don't tell them what you drive.
It's okay. They know
You're getting rid of that thing, right?
Eventually.
That thing's about to grenade, ain't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever been, it's weird, like our time is limited, but I don't know if we've ever been in as good of shape as we are right now at this point in the season, simply because of years of compounding, making sure all the easy work's done. So things are kind of just turnkey at this moment.
I mean, yeah. What do we need to do? Hang some stands?
We should probably take the Radix covers off and buy some new ones.
Say that every year.
I know those things
it's July.
Those things are rotten and full of hornets right now.
That's not going to happen this
year. We've been keeping the minerals refreshed. Our water is pretty good. I've already treated it with EH Defense once. I'm going to get that backhoe attached. Maybe even get my backhoe attached today.
That'd be nice.
And then start digging.
Yeah.
Start cleaning up our water holes that way. Like I said, minerals have been refreshed. Our food plots need a second mow. We're ready for mow number 2 on our clover plots, but having those clover chicory plots is nice as long as you keep them mowed and hit them with the cleth once a year. Pretty standard.
Yeah, I've been woodchuck hunting them, and they're just full of life.
Now that the hay is mowed, we need to go crazy back there. Yeah. I need to remember to bring my AR so when I'm ripping around, I can just stop and whack them because I drive right up on these woodchucks and I don't have a gun. But we don't even have to worry about our fall plots right now.
Nope.
It's too early for that. But things are in good shape. It's a good time of year to drive around and start doing the road scouting thing. I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. Got the new camera out. Got the
Yeah, I put this on the table to remind me that Ethan got a new camera setup. Last year he was using our shop cam, which is a Pano GH6.
Yeah, it just made it difficult to do other things.
The shop cam is designed for filming this podcast like you're watching and filming around the shop and taking B-roll. So when Ethan was using it for hunting as well.
Just threw a wrench into plans.
Yeah. So now he has his own dedicated camera.
Yeah.
High quality.
Selling the old Canon.
Are you selling it to Pavlik?
Yeah.
Yeah, when are we getting him on the podcast? Next week?
Never.
We talked about that for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's hit some business real quick. Jordan Dixon. Love your guys' videos. Don't ever stop them.
Thanks, Jordan.
We're going to talk about that today. So we appreciate that, Jordan. Dick Sack said snooze fest. I want Isaac's mule deer video.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, but you still watched it.
Dick Sack could just be Isaac.
Yeah, Dick Sack would be a good name for. I mean, yeah, it could be Isaac. Are you trolling? What the hell's that? Raised right. I love when crossbow guys say, "Well, it's actually harder with a crossbow because I can't shoot behind me because of the wide limbs." Yeah, okay. That brings up comment from Steve Barnard that we kind of tore apart last week. He took it pretty well.
Punctuation guy.
No. Steve Barnard was the crossbow behind me guy.
Okay,
and he took it well. We appreciate you listening, Steve. We know that you had a injured shoulder, and that's why you were using the crossbow for a while there. And we kind of made fun of you for saying that it was hard to shoot behind you. I'm sure there is a situation where you have to turn directly behind you and you can't shoot right up against a tree, but like. In my head, the math of that means the deer's going to be walking some direction away from the tree, and eventually you just turn a little bit.
It could be walking straight away from him, though.
You can shoot 100 yards with these crossbows. That's one of those things. Like if you're still using a Barnett from 1987 and your effective range is 30 yards with a crossbow, that's like crying that you couldn't shoot a buck during rifle season because you're still using a smooth bore 20 gauge to shoot a deer that has a 40-yard range when 450s are legal now, 200-yard takedown power. Like any of these modern crossbows, we have a dad's crossbows in the other room over there, still cocked.
Is it still cocked?
Still cocked. I don't know. I've just been saying it. It was like a $400 Barnett. Yeah. Isaac can stand here at the garage 87 yards and hit circles like this. So like you can shoot deer pretty far with those things. So. But thanks for being a champ about that, Steve Barnard. That brings up another comment of ours. Patrick Cozier took some fucking offense to the dirtbag comment, and then he got real mad about how I pronounced his comment, which, to be fair, you typed out your comment. I just read it. So
you read it twice.
I had to read it twice because it was a tongue twister. It was hard. But I'm glad that he responded like, "Oh, you read my comment out loud and made fun of my punctuality. Shows your character."
You're a piece of shit.
No, stop that. We do enjoy you listening to the podcast and leaving a comment like that. And like, I guess if I made you sad because I read off your comment and it was bad punctuation, I apologize for that. But I'm sticking to my guns, Patrick. There's a lot of dirtbag hunters. The last two podcasts were about dirtbag hunters who got in trouble for being dirtbags and poaching. So like, I'm not going to back down. There's a lot of bad eggs in the hunting world, unfortunately. I mean, there is in every hobby and profession has dirtbags, right?
Yeah.
Just the hard part about when it comes to hunting is when you're being a dirtbag, a lot of times you're breaking the law or ruining someone else's experience by the way you're acting, which is sometimes not illegal, but very rude. Little bit, not too much fallout from the Creek Kings podcast. I'm not really going to beat them up much more. Justin did text me. We had a little text back and forth. He basically said he can't make any public statements for an X amount of years. So I don't know if I'm even going to pursue talking to him about it because I don't want to be the dickhead that jams him up and then I had to go to court. Like all of that just doesn't sound fun. So he wanted to kind of reach out. There was one of his friends must have commented on our podcast because there was a guy who was commenting like, "You guys don't know the full story." Like he's like, "I know that you read. I know what you read is what was posted and what was on the court dockets and what they accepted as their deal and is fact, but like it's not really the story. There's more to it, but I don't want to say anything." And I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, but we're gonna put that saga behind us. We're done with it. Austin Phillips, if you got bit by an O'Leary bug, you need to get treated for HIV, herpes, rabies, etc. Yeah, it hasn't healed yet. It's like still kind of itchy.
Yeah. It happens.
They're bad. Those bugs up in O'Leary.
Get those Canton bugs too.
Phew. The recommendations, Isaac was all mad about watching. Isaac wanted some recommendations on guys who hunt public land, camp in their truck, self-film the video, kill a nice buck, and go. They walk the walk after talking the talk. Isaac wanted some of that. The recommendations we got were Do-It-Yourself Hunter, who we were already subscribed to, and I watched a couple of their videos last week just to rewatch them. Not bad.
Not bad.
The Do-It-Yourself Hunter kills some pretty good bucks. The one kid in there, I know there's multiple guys in there, but the one kid I was watching, he killed multiple good bucks. Indiana and Kansas, I think, were the states, while mobile hunting and camping in his truck, and he got the kill on film like he did. That guy did it. The Do-It-Yourself Hunter did it. He fit the box of what Isaac wanted checked. He hit it. The Untamed was brought in, which we should have made a caveat. Like some of these guys we do know pretty well. We've actually met some of the guys from the Untamed before, and they do a good job. Their bear stuff overshadows their public land deer hunting. They do a lot. They kill a lot of turkeys too down in West Virginia, like a lot.
They hunt the old strip mines, right?
Yeah, they have like a giant lease, I believe, somewhere not close to where we hunt in West Virginia, more west, I believe.
Gotcha.
Giant lease and some public land, but they do kill a lot of stuff in that way, so they are a good example. Catman was brought up, and he, like we said, Catman does kill a lot of deer. Maybe not necessarily a lot of giant deer because he's hunting like Tennessee and those areas, but he does kill some good ones too.
Depends on your definition of giant.
Yeah, a lot of public deer. The hunting pressure, not the hunting public, the hunting pressure was recommended, and I watched a video of theirs, and I was not a fan.
Never heard of them.
They did have some big deer killed, but they did like this. They were filming, for lack of better terms, like a whitetail addictions out west with a cameraman and a guy on the ground, Zach Fehrenbaugh style hunting like the open states. And the whole entire time they were hunting, like the hunting footage was on the thing. They were doing like a voiceover, but it was like a comedic voiceover sort of.
The new generation type.
It wasn't your Bill Winke, your Midwest Whitetail, your Siman Brothers Outdoors, Deer Camp Chronicles narration. It was like we crested over the top of the hill and the buck was still down in the valley. We could have circled him, but there was a fucking cow in the way, so we had to go down to the road, and then it shows him walking down the road, and we ordered pizza, and then we went back a couple hours. It was definitely unique in a different style, but like I was watching about 20 minutes, and I was like, this isn't for me.
I don't watch a lot of hunting. I think Isaac watches the most hunting out of all of us.
He does. He likes to. He kind of acts like he doesn't, but I still think he gets that YouTube bug and like.
Well, because he sits there and does his thing on YouTube and editing and stuff, and then while he does that, he has a second monitor just playing random videos. When he used to live here, I used to walk in the house and there'd just be random videos playing on the TV and the computer.
Like he's doing it. He's like getting his inspiration while like, oh, I like that shot. Let's see if we can recreate that kind of thing. A lot of comments on YouTube and stuff. I didn't check. There were some comments on Instagram too, which I didn't get to. And there's a few on the podcast. Let me check those. But there was a lot of discussion on the bag limit stuff in the Ohio, too many deer thing. And I do want to touch on that for a little bit. It's a good thing to kind of talk up here for a second. So we have started to acknowledge the fact, outside of like the EHD zones of the Southeast and stuff where the things are bad, but we're starting to acknowledge the fact that around here and then around us in Northeast Ohio and definitely outside of these like suburb areas and like the big farm areas, we're starting to notice that there is probably too many deer. The carrying capacity can hold a lot of deer, but there is probably too many deer, honestly. And that's why when things like EHD happen in these areas, it does wipe out so many because they're just in close contact. We're at a surplus of deer on what would probably be considered a perfect holding threshold. And the big thing is it's starting to piss off the farmers. And I know we talked about this on last week's podcast a little bit, depredation permits, but the conversation continued on social media, and it's a good one to have that I like to have. So kind of wanted to expand on it a little bit. How do we solve the problem of there are too many deer in a lot of places? Your backyard has 8 does feeding in it one day. You drive by a bean field or an alfalfa field and there's 40 or 50 deer out there. That's too many, right?
There was at least 40 deer within 800 yards of where we're sitting right now that you can see from the road.
Yeah. So, and that's
night.
Right. You drive these beans, the beans are popping, the alfalfa's cut now. You just drive every field, just boom, 8 to 10, boom, 15 in that one. There's a particular field not far from here. I won't give away the details. We cannot hunt it. It's not a spot that we hunt, but it's in between some areas where we hunt. It's just I don't even know if it might've been, I can't even tell you what it was last year, but it's a fallow field now of some kind with weeds in it, but they're kind of short. You drive by that field in the evening, there's like 40 adult does out there with their fawns and a couple turkeys in this field every night. Like that's
single night.
Too many. Not a lot. You don't see a ton of bucks. There's been some good bucks killed in that area, and there is bucks in that area, but they're not going to feed in that field because holy shit, daycare, right? But it's just too. It's getting to the point where these farmers are having a problem with it, and the legal method of getting rid of them. Legal method number one is getting the depredation permits, the kill permits, the whatever you want to call them, the summertime kill permits. Tyler Gullett has talked about how he does that program a little bit. I don't love that idea, but I like it better than sharpshooters and stuff of that nature. It is an option as long as the guy who's doing the kill permit killing is being very smart and trying not to kill bucks. I don't think it's fair or right that those guys can just kill bucks at night and not allowed to keep the rack. You got to bury the rack or give it to the ODNR. And, you put time and effort into making your property great to kill a good buck, spend the money, do the things, pass these deer, and then a sharpshooter can come in at night and kill them. That's fucked up. But if you're going to kill the does and, kill the fawns because the browsing damage is too much, that is a viable option. I would personally like to see hunters be more responsible for that. But we've been on that train here at SBO for a long time of, hunters working with farmers to properly take the amount of deer that need to be killed. Obviously, if a farmer thinks the key to getting more deer killed off my property is to allow more people to hunt it, a lot of times that has the opposite effect, and they don't get to see the results that they want. You're going to have 4 or 5 different groups of guys or 4 or 5 different guys showing up in October in the evening, parking at the field, all walking to their tree stands because the farmer has a lot of deer he wants killed. Every single guy his wind is fucking the next guy. Their entry fucks the next guy. Their plans all go to shit, and no one ends up killing a deer. Or some guy kills a 6-point, or something.
And they're all bucks.
One guy kills a doe, and you've accomplished nothing. You've let more people hunt your farm, but all of a sudden you're less deer being killed because the best way to effectively reduce deer is to have people hunt farms smart and with a plan. If we figure out, okay, we'll do a bait pile over here, or this little strip of food plot, the deer always come out, and so we'll make sure we take a doe 3 or 4 nights a week at the beginning of the season, and all of a sudden that farm has X amount of deer taken off of it because there's an actual plan put in place. We think that's the way it should be.
And farmers don't also understand. It takes 3 to 4 years to figure out property fully out, too. They think they're going to allow hunters to come in and they kill everything. That's just not
it's real easy for a farmer, because some are hunters and some really aren't. It's really easy for a farmer to drive by in July or drive down in a morning in September and look out in his field and see all these deer out there and think, holy shit, we need to kill these deer. If I can see this deer out there, why can't the hunters kill them? Well, for one, 5-month bow season, deer out in the middle of the field doesn't necessarily mean anything. You have to actually find a way to hunt them deer when they're, moving in and out of said field. Mm-hmm. A lot of hunters at the same time are worried about the liability, or maybe they're a deer hunter and they have they're trying to kill a specific buck or what have you, and they have all this land where they're not allowing people to hunt. And that creates an adverse effect too. They want to be able to get the kill permits to kill deer themselves to save their crops, but they're not willing to open their land to hunters that have nowhere else to go. There's no rules that could ever be put in place to make that.
And what's that
change? There's that program in Ohio it got
brought up this week on social media.
It got brought up it's called like the OHAP or something. It's basically like farmers lease their land or give their land to be managed by the state, and they do like a daily draw or sign up for hunting. In theory, it sounds like a good idea, and at first it probably was because not a lot of people knew about it, right? So they, like, oh man, I got to access all this land all by myself. Like, things are great, right? As more people learned about it and as more people were involved, the management of the program went down. So you have a different person hunting a piece of property every single day of October and November and December. The success rate on those farms dwindles because the pressure is just out of control.
The guys that do it legally have terrible times because people are just trespassing, because people that don't do it legally just say, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to go hunt it anyway.
Yeah, because we know it's technically public, even though I don't have permission to be there. And guess what? One game warden per county with time off, vacation, military leave, and all the stuff that needs to happen cannot police every single inch of that county. The deer police stuff. We've talked about that at length on our podcast. Unfortunately, the ODNR severely underfunded when it comes to law enforcement side of things. Like Isaac's always said, he drives around out west 1,000 miles and sees 107 game wardens, and you drive around here in Ohio 1,000 miles and you see one.
Maybe.
And we know the ODNR is a huge budget and has money, but like we beat that to death. But politically, 75% of the money's going to administration, which is kind of whack.
I wonder who manages that OLAP program. Like, who's the one signing people up?
It's like
The
Ohio
one giving out the
Leasing
dates?
Access Program, right? Ohio
Yeah,
Leasing.
something like that. But like, I wonder like who's the guy sitting in the office with the Excel spreadsheet with the names on a different file, saying, "Okay, you go here, you go here, you go here this weekend, that weekend." Who's that guy?
Remind me. Well, I have a guy there's a guy who listens to our podcast and stuff. Scott Mills is his name. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He hunts the OLAP program and has given me some insight over the last couple of years. He's hunted the one we know pretty well and stuff, and had a bad time and did not enjoy it. So I'll ask him how it works, and then I'll get Steven Ziegler on like the state level side of how it.
So
I can ask Steven to figure out how
it's
it
a
works
draw,
on the state level,
or if it's
like a daily sign up. It's just first come first serve. I
is
think.
it? So like, there's no one managing it.
Like the night before or something. I guess I'll have to get some more information. So Scott Mills, if you're listening, I'm going to come for you, or remind me and come for me. One of the two.
And we're shitting on the ODNR. Doing that for a bunch of public property would be.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. It's not easy. It's probably Amazon packages.
Yep.
But it's not easy. Like,
it's not easy.
For
And
one guy to
that's
sit
where
there-
that's where the administrative payroll is going, is stuff like that. But it's unfortunate. We've spent a year now. Well, we spent our whole lives thinking about it. We spent a year really talking about it on this podcast of how Ohio has such great things to offer in every direction, because our deer population and our buck size and everything about the habitat and the way it hunts is great. But just, it's very hard to find the proper way to manage and where to spend the money and to enforce regulations. I actually have that. Where do I have it written here somewhere? Like, let me see here. I can expand on that just a touch here. So the killing multiple deer thing, or to reduce the herd thing, the ODNR, everything that we talked about. At the end of the day, I can't verify this stat, but I read it online. A guy commented it. I had to do some more research, unfortunately, but I didn't get the chance to do that because it's been busy with work this week. A gentleman responded to one of my comments saying that only 2% of deer hunters kill multiple deer every year. So in Ohio, only 2% of Ohio hunters are killing more than one deer. So problem, too many deer. Problem, ODNR trying to find a way to manage it to our specific needs and what we like. Problem, only 2% of people are even going out and killing multiple deer. So we need to reduce the deer. We want to see better age quality in deer. We want the ODNR to do a better job of regulating poachers and regulating the buck herd and managing the herd. But only 2% of the hunters are actually on board with, hey, we got to go out there and kill multiple does a year, or a doe and a buck. And if that's true, if that number is true, if it's only 2%, that's so low. That is unbelievably low.
But
unreal low.
How many people in our friend group?
I mean, I only killed. Let's go through the deer shop last year, which isn't a great example because we're all hunters that have spent a lot of time in the woods. So there's years where I killed 4 or 5 deer. Right? I think my record might even be 6 for state and out of state. Mm-hmm. Technically, last year I only killed 1 deer in Ohio. I ended up killing 3 deer, but I only killed 1 in Ohio. So like maybe I did not kill multiple deer.
1 deer, guys. I'll keep track of the multiple deer. Isaac. 1.
Multiple deer, right?
1.
Just as buck.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
You're 2. Luke, multiple. Me, multiple. Spaniel, 1.
1.
Freeman, 1.
What deer did Spaniel kill in Ohio? I don't think he killed any.
He didn't, did he?
No. Killed a West Virginia buck.
Yeah, so 0.
0. Gore, 1.
Yep. Dylan, multiple.
Dylan, multiple. Kasich, I think, killed multiple.
Did he?
He killed at least his buck. I'm sure I don't know if he killed a doe or not.
I didn't get any other deer for Kasich. Did Nick?
Yeah, Nick, did you got any deer for Kasich? Tyler, 1.
Yeah.
So we're not doing too hot here.
Alex Ardurakis, 35.
Alex killed enough to even out that he killed 9, right?
Something
it says
like
up there,
yeah.
right? AAA, 132 plus 4 doe.
So
a button buck. So he killed 5. He killed 6.
Yeah, Freeman killed 2.
So Alex killed 6 and Freeman killed 2. So those 2 brothers killed 8 combined, which helps our cause here. How many did me and you and Luke kill and Isaac? 4 of us. 1, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah.
How many did you kill?
2.
All right, so 4 for 4. 4 for the 4 of us killed 4 deer.
4 of us killed 6 deer.
6 deer.
2, 2.
2, 2, right?
1, 1.
Okay.
Math is hard.
It is hard. Math was never my strong suit.
Nick
They killed 8, so.
1? Nick killed 1?
Nick did kill a doe.
Yeah. maybe 2.
He should have killed 2.
He could have killed 2 does. He killed.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. He wanted to kill 2 does the last day of the season, but he was only able to kill the 1.
Yeah.
He tried to kill a second one. He falls into the category that a lot of us do here at SBO is we're chasing a buck, and we're in pursuit of our buck, and you blink your eye, and 4 months goes by, and you're still in pursuit of that buck, and you haven't taken the time to.
I think Nick's gonna kill a lot of deer this year with the girls growing up.
Yeah, and he's already got a plan in place to start hunting at his new house where he's building. So, on top of that, so the spectrum, right? Too many deer, ODNR trying to manage it and do some things to make the hunting better in our opinions we would like to see, and then only so many killing multiple deer. I read a stat that only 5% of hunters nationwide ever kill a Pope and Young size buck with a
I think I heard that on the podcast.
it was Hunter, I think. Maybe,
Mike Rex podcast. It was the Mike Rex Southern Outdoorsman podcast.
5% of deer hunters in this country kill a Pope and Young size buck with their bow.
Yeah, I mean, I would believe.
So, but that means, unfortunately, that means that the people that we would like to aim this podcast towards, so sympathizers with our cause, which is just simply what it is, just our cause. It's not, doesn't make it right or wrong. Our cause of trying to have more bigger bucks, only 5% are able to achieve that. I mean, sure, more are in pursuit of that, but only 5% are actually achieving that lifetime once. That means our audience size, we have to remember that the majority of hunters out there don't think or pursue it in the way we do.
They don't. They just want to go kill.
Right. It's such a straight. I mean, we've all killed a Pope and Young size buck with our bow, except for you.
Has Isaac?
I don't think Isaac has.
What's Pope and Young? 130.
Yeah, for lack of better terms, let's call it 130-inch net with their bow.
I don't.
So you and Isaac technically haven't. We'll use gross scores because we don't care about nets, just to make it easy. So Luke's got 3. I have
minimum score of 125.
That means with my bow I have 3 or
Isaac
3.
has the 8 point was 127, correct?
121.
121.
Mm-hmm.
So no.
But it was like a 6-year-old buck.
But
So it's a bad standard,
yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, with our bows, each one of us has 3 or 4. Dylan maybe has about 9, but
I have none. Isaac has none, which is crazy.
he's got playing with his gun.
Yeah.
They don't count.
Yeah, with his bow.
Bow doesn't count. Just interesting to know. But at the end of the day, the problems exist still. Too many deer. ODNR need to do some things to manage the herd better. Because I have a big problem with the fact that I can't kill more deer, even though I did it last year. Let's just look at it from a face value. If there are too many deer, but I'm only allowed to kill 3 in this county, if I kill a buck here and a doe at my house and a doe at Luke's farm because his farmer wants a deer being killed, I am now useless for the rest of Medina County, even though the state allows me to kill 6 total. I cannot kill any more in this county, and I think that is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, we need to start by getting rid of the county bag limits, unless there's an EHD problem, which they can find out, like places like Washington and Morgan. Let's hold back maybe. But Medina County not being able to kill 6 deer is absurd. And I have no idea. And I know that there's long-standing political and biological reasonings why the regulations are the way they are. But from today's perspective, someone who talks about deer hunting every single week in the shop for an hour, there's no reason on this planet why I should not be able to kill 6 to 10 does in this county every year.
Yeah.
We saw 40 last night within 800 yards of here.
There was one at the bottom of the driveway.
That's what I'm saying. There is way, way, way too many deer. And if only 2% are killing multiple, you need to allow those 2% of guys to do more. Like, why are you letting the 98% of guys who are only going to kill 1 deer? Why are the regulations geared towards them? They're a non-fact. Those 98% of guys that only take 1 deer are a non-factor in deciding bag limits. Remove them from the equation because they're only taking 1. So it doesn't matter if it was 6, 5, or 50. They're only taking 1.
Yeah.
I want to know how many of that 98% is trying to get 2. Like, I would be in that category. Nick would be in that category. There's guys we have that were trying to get 2 or attempting to get 2, but were unsuccessful. But I have a hard time, and maybe this is one of those things we need to go down to the meetings and start making some noise with the Ohio Advocacy Group. What are they?
Ohio Hunters. Ohio
I
Hunting Advocates.
already forgot what the group is that we're supposed to be helping out. Hunters Advocacy of Ohio. That group. Maybe we should start making a play for bag limits, because I don't think that for what we want to do. So let's take our angle again with the ODNR. Better age structure for bucks, better doe ratio, less deer overall, but better health and herd and size of deer, more food for the bucks, bigger antlers, all that is going to be not so good if the farmers that are crying about their crop permits and the cities crying about their damage and the sharpshooters get their way, because they're just going to kill all the deer. They're not going to do any managing whatsoever. They will say they might try, but to them, a mouth is a mouth, right? So they're going to try and kill as many deer as they can and put the herd structure out of whack even more.
On the reverse side to that theory, out in Moby land,
Okay.
those people,
You said the word Moby.
those people shoot everything. They don't manage.
I
They see brown. They don't even know if it's deer they shoot.
Well, and I think that is why Moby land, we are learning, holds so many older mature bucks, is because there's less of that yarding. There's less of that daycare, for lack of better terms, with a field with 40 does and fawns in it. There's less of that. So a buck like Moby that makes it to 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and all the buddies he's running with and their little pockets of bucks have more space to roam without being stressed. Now, when hunting season comes, things change, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're talking summer, velvet on the antlers, testosterone at the lowest level. The deer aren't even, you could walk up to them and pet them. They're so docile at this point in the year. Not exactly true. But the point remains, I believe that helps them become large and stay homebody. Mm-hmm. Whereas our bucks here, like, we know there's some good bucks around our area right now, but the biggest deer that I'm trying to hunt on this farm this year, like my number one buck that I want to see and pursue this year, I'm not going to lay eyes on him until probably October 24th, because I've seen him in velvet a few times, so I know the direction from which he comes. But other than that, we know he was in velvet as a 3-year-old, running around with a deer that disappeared, Jaws, the G3 buck I'm talking about. Yeah. He lived with this buck Jaws as a 3-year-old. Jaws disappeared last year, never showed back up. Who knows the story there? But G3 hasn't been back on this farm in velvet since 3 years ago. So it's, I just know that I'm not going to see him until their antlers get hard. So it's a different kind of ballgame. And that's because if you walk back in our fields right now, you're going to see 10 does, and you're going to see a bachelor group of bucks of 2, 3, 4-year-old bucks. There's 7 of them together, and a buck that's 6 years old like that is just not going to tolerate that as much. He's not going to be around a fidgety group of younger deer going crazy in a field. Now, obviously, there's exception to that. Someone's going to say, "Well, I filmed my 200-inch buck here in Iowa in a field with 100 other deer." You know, it's obviously specific to areas and
what they're used
to and the habitat and what your property can hold. But most of the deer around here, the big, large, mature bucks, we've noticed as they truly hit true maturity. Like, I have no problem killing a 4-year-old. We've killed some 3-year-olds for sure in our day. We're not perfect, and I'm actually going to talk about that on the podcast here in a minute. But, you know, for what we do, a 4-year-old is the goal, right? 140-inch 4-year-old every single year would be perfect. Sometimes we don't even achieve that. True mature bucks, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you only get an opportunity at hunting one of those deer every 3 or 4 years, and you only get 1 or 2 weeks out of every 3 or 4 years, you know, where that deer's actually going to be killable and where you can hunt them. So yes, we would like that, but there's just too many deer in this area for that to be a realistic thing. They're not summering here, and they haven't summered here for a long time because made the habitat too good and brought in every deer in the county to live here, but that's not good for our overall age structure. You know, less deer would be better.
Need to kill more does.
Kill more does. Let's make that a pact this year. It's been a pact before, but let's make it a pact this year. Let's kill more does.
Every time I make that a pack, a wrench gets thrown in my plan.
Yeah, like 200-inch velvet buck running around
here when I hunt.
So let's finish this up. Hold on. Let's finish this conversation up a little bit about talking about us. So I've noticed on social media lately, been on a couple of those podcasts, making posts. Our groups on social media that we run around with, our group chats of other content creators and people kind of in the industry. We've been catching a lot of flack here and there. We catch some flack for lack of better terms, staying in our own little lane and not pursuing more of this. So we run a weekly podcast. I run a spring web show. I run a fall web show, and we have a summer series. We put a lot of effort into making this content of us. So why don't we take it to the next step and try and pursue sponsorships and make a career out of this and do all the things to get our name out there even more and go to trade shows and schmooze with the bigwigs and make connections in the industry. Why don't we do that? And, me personally, we grew up, with Dad filming us at all times. I know we've talked about this on the podcast before. Video cameras have been a part of our life since there's videos of me 6 days old. I have a collection of tapes in my basement that we've been getting digitalized of my entire childhood. Dad filmed everything. As soon as we were old enough to have cameras, we bought Walmart cheapos, that put tapes in them. You put a tape in a camera. Film. We started out with, the big thing for us was filming what country boys did. So we were in the woods, snowboarding, sledding, building forts, doing jackass style
lawnmower wheelie,
lawnmower racing, lawnmower wheelies, building dams in the creeks, jumping off of high things, blowing stuff up, catching things on fire, shooting things. I mean, that's what we did as kids with video cameras every single day, putting firecrackers and things and blowing them to smithereens.
axe cans in a fire.
Axe cans in a fire. I would put spray paint cans in like a mailbox and shoot it with a flame and catch it on fire and blow it up. Not a public mailbox, but we had there's
Old
mailboxes around the farm. The Gazette had those plastic mailboxes that when you're done with them, you get a new one. We filmed stuff like that, and nature was a huge part of that. Growing up here on this farm, filming deer, filming turkeys, filming beavers, filming woodchucks, filming critters in the woods, raccoons.
Remember that big farm that we always used to, we still do it, but film deer on? There's that black creature that we filmed.
I think it could have been. There's a possibility that it was a river otter, theoretically. There's a possibility it was a beaver. Big possibility it was a beaver, maybe even a skunk, a large skunk. But the footage is so grainy and old and long distance, it's kind of impossible.
Is this still on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah. Yep.
Getting
on my original channel.
What is that channel called?
Not going to say what it is. Don't need this audience knowing about that. But no, we filmed everything. My first successful filmed hunt, I was 16 years old. We've talked about. You can actually see it in this year's Turkey Camp Chronicles. We talked about it a little bit. If you watch the opening episode of the Turkey Camp Chronicles where Hudson kills the youth season gobbler, you'll see me filming Isaac, 2007. I was 16 years old, killing a turkey. I missed it with my bow. He killed it with a shotgun. It's 20 years now. 20 years of filming outdoor content, making videos. It's we had an opportunity to maybe pursue it as a full-time type career. In 2009, I probably would have had the time and the effort and the connections. We were getting into the industry a little bit. We had connections with some companies. We were working with bowhunting.com, Bowhunter Die. I was filming independent gigs. I made some money on the side here and there. This is back before digital media, right? So this is, like we said, tape cameras. I filmed some stuff for some lawyers. We sold some stunt footage from our kids making jackass style fucking videos to MTV. I got a couple checks from MTV. Some of that stuff happened right around 2007, 2008, 2009. I was dabbling into the filmmaking world. I went to college. I went and saw some colleges with Mom. I think we went to Kent and Akron, maybe. Kind of looked at their video production program a little bit, toured it. Like there was a period of time where it may have happened, but then firefighting.
Yeah. Then
so
you
I discovered
fire one time. You're like, holy shit!
You had to understand that I was a 18-year-old kid enthralled with hunting deer, like fucking love deer hunting, growing up on this big farm in the country, not knowing much about urban life, city life. And at that point I was like so inept to what urban city life was, because we just sheltered country Blumpkin kids growing up in the middle of nowhere. And just, this was the life we knew so much about. And I would go do these college tours with Mom, and I'm like walking through the video production program, and there's just square 4x3, TVs. Cause it's still, this is before digital age. Like I know a lot of content creators are like, holy shit, you're fucking old. But people are editing on film. I'm looking at all these college kids in this room with this professor who just look like the fucking squarest of all squares. And these kids that are working on these video projects, which were like commercials for Tupperware containers and like whatever, like, local newscasts, how to learn simulcast and how to do closed circuit TV and do commercials for fucking Benihana restaurants. Like that was the pitch they made to me, a guy who wants to just take his camera in the woods and be outdoors and kill shit. So I had that opportunity in front of me, or I ended up joining the local volunteer fire department. And my first call I went on, a guy drowned. And then we had like 5 structure fires in the first year and people flipping their cars over and all these adult male figures that are doing this job. And just, they were so much fucking cooler than the video production. It wasn't even, it was like
night and day.
I went down the firefighting field, got all my certs and my paramedic. Isaac followed right behind me, got all certs and his paramedic. Got jobs working hospitals, funeral homes, ambulances, all these part-time fires, the volunteer fire, which not only did it give you a living and a career that is always available, but it gave me time to do this. It gave me time to be in the woods and to go down to Camp Gore and take a week off and go to deer camp and all that stuff. That allowed me to do that. If I would have went to college for video production and then tried to get in the outdoor industry with Bowhunter Die and bowhunting.com and become an intern somewhere, like I would have had to move away from Chatham and live in my van like some of these guys do, like Curl does, and the Hunting Public guys. It was around the time the Hunting Public was getting big. And my stuff at the time was nowhere near as big as what their stuff ended up being. But we were in the YouTube game way before, 2009, we're running a YouTube channel. None of that stuff was around back then. Midwest Whitetail was just making the transition. Bowhunter Die was doing all their stuff on DVDs, So the decision was made to become a firefighter, and obviously it provided an unbelievable life, and there's no way I would ever change it. If I could go back and change it to maybe become full-time in the video world and pursue a hunting career, I would not do it.
No,
I would not do it. Not a fucking chance.
The grass.
So it worked out super well because then Ethan got into it. We just live this lifestyle where we have time off and we're not hurting, we can pay our bills and we have time off and we have you get hands-on experience in the real world doing stuff. And we, in this podcast and making videos and filming our hunts and traveling to Camp Gore in the Southern Ohio and the Indiana public land and Tie Nest, Pennsylvania and Montana and all the places we've gone to hunt. I can do it out of pure pleasure and leisure and enjoyment. And if we don't kill anything, there's no stress.
None.
If we do kill something,
a little stress.
Yeah, I mean there is, but I've learned to compartmentalize that because guess what? There's another season, another deer, another opportunity. You can still go home to your family. Like if you're a hunting content creator for a living, you have to get that shot. You have to make it work. You have to kill a couple good deer. If you're going to be professional for a very long time in this market, you have to either find a way to market yourself as a personality that people like to see. You have to be able to attach yourself to a couple companies and promote their product well enough that you become valuable to them, which we know a lot of people have done that, which is a good way. Or your Mark Jury, your Spook Span, your Midwest Whitetail, some of these guys, Don Higgins, you kill 200-inch bucks and people want to see you killing 200-inch bucks over and over. Don just killed his 4th. I saw that Don Higgins' 4th 200-inch buck video premieres on July 1st. So like this week it's going to be out, which I'm probably going to watch. But you have to be known as a giant buck killer, and you have to make that happen consistently. And if you make that your identity, then you're going to burn some bridges on a personal level, and you're going to fuck some people, and you're going to have a reputation, and you're going to have to learn to have really thick skin. I mean, look at Lee Ellis. We love watching Sequan. We love watching Lee Ellis. He's the greatest deer hunter in the world, in our opinion. Up for debate, obviously, but he's the greatest deer hunter in the world, in our opinion. Self-filming, making hunting videos. He has cameraman sometimes, but his hunting content is incredible. He went from urban bucks to public bucks to more urban bucks to country bucks. He's done it all, right? There's a lot of people out there that hate him. Yeah. Fucking hate him because what if he would move in on Moby? We have, for 2-year seasons now, we dedicate ourselves to this legendary giant whitetail, and then you're going to show up and Lee Ellis came in and made that his home, and he's going to try to kill that deer. It's going to burn a lot of bridges. If you're Spook Span and you're leasing out grounds from underneath people, burning bridges. You're going to catch flack, unlimited flack. You have to have super thick skin, and you have to have a temperament and a pride that is unflappable and not be afraid to piss people off. I'm not saying that we don't have that, but I would rather be one of the boys and sit around the campfire with a beer and talk about our deer together and not have the stress of, I'm going to come fuck you because you told me about this 180-inch buck and I need to kill it for my job. So I'm going to come in and use all the information you said against you and make it my life's goal to kill this deer because I have to feed my family. And I'm glad that we do not have that.
Yeah, so
we don't have to.
If some hunting celebrity moved in on Moby and killed him, I would just.
We would just talk shit about it for a while.
I would just hunt.
Motherfucker.
I would just hunt the other deer that are in the area because it doesn't matter. Like, it matters to me, but like, it's not going to make or break my life.
No. And
Yeah,
that's
it'd be
that's
cool
the
to kill 'em, but,
beautiful. That's the beautiful part about it.
Still going to come home and go to work. And do my thing.
And I want to and that brings up another thing. You know, we're in this. The point being, we're in it for the love of the game, right? I love to make the videos. I'm going to keep filming my hunts whether people are watching them or not. There was years where we were filming our hunts where no one was fucking watching. And I would spend hours making these beautiful hunting films. We got these hunting films on YouTube that are incredible. They have like 19, they have like 197
They do
views.
have 180,000 views on Facebook from the Indian people.
Yeah, weird. Meta's weird. I get my $7 check even though they ban me every month, so that's nice.
Remember that one deer, the peg leg, what was his name?
Gimp?
Yeah, the Gimp. There's that one famous Facebook video of him.
Yeah, someone shared it in like Bangladesh or something with a million views. Like, and it's like,
people put him down. He's suffering.
Yeah, it's just
He's lived like that for 4 years.
The point is, it's the love of the game. So I'm going to continue making the Deer Camp Chronicles and the Turkey Camp Chronicles and the Family Dream Farm, and we're going to do this weekly podcast. And you know, we're not going to pursue the big name sponsors and the money that can come with it because it'll change a lot of things that we do, and we don't need it.
Unless you're Busch Light. If you're Busch Light.
If you're Busch Light or Buffalo Trace, because I like a lot of these bourbons. Shitty coolers, I would probably take some free shit from you if you want to. We need a new podcast board. I don't mind having a new laptop.
Panasonic video.
Yeti, we use a lot of Yeti. Our Panasonic cameras, if you want to send us some free shit. But
we're not pursuing.
I'm not going to send the emails to pursue you. And I know that a lot of people are listening that are in the industry. They're like, oh my God, why you guys could just, like, you know, just not our game, brother. Perfect segue to bring up the fact that I don't want people to think, and I do appreciate if you're still listening at this point in the podcast to me and Ethan talk about this, because I like podcasts like this. I really enjoy. Obviously, my word count's going to be super high on this one, but it's okay. I appreciate the people that tune in every week to hear our stories and listen and to hear us talk about the G3 buck, which is a 137-inch 6-year-old deer that lives here local to me in our home farm here in Chatham, because that is probably the most uninteresting thing in the world to a lot of people. But I enjoy that some of you guys still tune in to listen to it, because we are not professionals. I need to make that clear. I think people think because we run a podcast and I have this 20-year-old YouTube channel that makes us somewhat experts in the field. And the reality is that we're not. If you're one of the big buck deer killers in this area, you know that the Siman Brothers aren't going to be known as the guys killing a 180 every year. We're just not going to do it. We're going to have, maybe one of us will have an opportunity at maybe killing one, and we're not going to probably make it happen. We're the kind of guys that are going to go out and kill the 130, 140 inch 4 or 5-year-olds, 3 or 4-year-olds every year and be super content with it. So if you're willing to listen to us talk about that over and over and over for 144 episodes, we really appreciate that.
I have guys at work that call me the YouTube guy, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think I should do?" I'm like, "Brother, I have no idea."
The only expertise I could really give you is how to use DaVinci Resolve in a basic way. I can guarantee you that if you give me 40 acres and I can come consult with you, that I'll make it so you could have an opportunity at 130-inch mature deer at some point in the season. And that's really
maybe in 4 years.
Yeah, and that's the extent of our knowledge in this subject. We travel around a bunch of states. We do not go on all these trips expecting guaranteed success and high level success every time. We're not going to go to 3 states and kill 3 bucks in 3 states every year. What I did last year, 3 bucks in 3 states on opening day, that's an anomaly. I've been hunting for 25 years. And I've done it one time. So 1 in a 25 chance that happens again. Isaac has been spending the last 5 or 6 years going out west pursuing mule deer and elk and bear. He's got a small bear, 2 small mule deer, and 0 elk. So
2 missed elk.
We are not the experts at doing these things. There are guys on social media, podcasters and YouTube hunters, the hunting public, and some of these guys that are very good at making that stuff happen. Who's the guy that was with Matthews and Levi, and he has his own channel and he killed a bunch of really big bucks, and every once in a while he does a video.
Hunter Hogan?
Yes, Hunter Hogan.
Okay.
A guy like Hunter Hogan is, we don't know a ton about the guy, but we know that when he puts out a video, it's going to be 180-inch Kansas public land deer. that is not something that we are going to be able to produce.
One
for
of those
guys.
dudes that takes the 70-yard shots at deer because he can, because
Yeah.
he practices those 70-yard
He
shots.
hangs out with Levi Morgan.
Yeah.
I hang out with Ethan Simon. You know what I mean?
He did read my message and not respond to me.
Yeah, you know,
Been
so,
on Born Against podcast a couple times.
so we appreciate the fact that you guys can stick with some. I mean, you know, we're never going to be hunter. We're never going to be working class bow hunter. I know working class bow hunter started as Joe Blows in their shop and they got huge. We're just not going to ever be able to turn into that. So we do appreciate the guys that tune in to listen to a couple knobs talk about their deer. Mostly we end up talking about our deer and our hunts and our experience. I like having the guests on, and we will still continue to have guests on every now and then. You know, would our podcast go to another stratosphere if I made an effort to get Spook Span and Hunter Hogan and these guys tried really hard to get these famous big buck killers, Don Higgins, on the podcast to talk tactics every week and how best to improve your farm and how to do this and how to do that and the story of my fourth 200-inch buck. That would do a lot for our podcast. And there's going to be some of that in there. I have guests lined up, some connections. Like we're going to have some fun one-offs where we have these conversations with these guys, but it's not going to be like Hunter Podcast where every single week we have someone new and enthralling on. It's just too much work for where we're at.
Hunter did a podcast just themselves the other day, and it was a little bit enjoyable. The poaching one, the
Yeah,
drone.
I listened to about half of it. I did get about half of that one. I didn't hear too much about the drone when they started talking about drones. What they have to say? Boo.
One of them hates them. One of them doesn't mind them. It makes a difference between baiting and not baiting and what you can do. And they took Chris Brackett's stance on one side, then booed Chris Brackett on the other side.
Boo, Chris Brackett. Boo. Boo AI.
Spook Span AI deer is an AI
Dude,
deer.
do they talk about it on
No.
there? Oh, but did
that
you see?
was yesterday's post. I mean, that was only
So yesterday, I wanted to talk on that. I brought Spook Spam up a lot because I've been seeing there is Spook Spam has a photo of a deer, and this is what I think. I've been thinking about this a lot. It's for the last 24 hours when I saw it. Spook Spam made a post. This is a deer I was hunting last year. Can't wait to hunt him this year. Possible world record. Typical. It's finally happened.
I think it would.
my 49th 200 inch buck.
looking at it, I think it would be the world record.
I don't think it's as big as he says it is.
Is it real?
So here's the thing. He posted this picture of this buck. This year I'm gonna be in the pursuit of the potential world record typical. Here he was last year. I'm sharing the first pictures. The buck, the buck looks perfect, right? Not super wide, but super tall. Lots of time. 10 point with good tines. Just not crazy wide. Not super good mass, but fucking monster. A near 200-inch typical for sure, right? A lot of guys were like, dude, something don't look right about it. It's too polished. The picture is polished looking. A couple guys ran it through an AI generator, and it's 99% chance on these AI generators that the deer is AI. On that note, there was 2 pictures from other people in there of a similar looking deer in the comments that it might be the same deer. The one guy is not far from where we hunt in a different state.
Yeah.
So like it's questionable. Like, do they all have an AI generated? The one picture from the Tacticam of the deer walking away, or actually it might have been on a muddy. Two of the pictures were straight on, same angle of the rack, so they looked exactly the same. But the one was kind of walking the other way. Might have been a different deer. Who even knows? I looked at that guy's profile. It was from a couple states away, so I couldn't put anything together there. But the fact of the matter remains, it looks like it's an AI-generated image, but multiple people have had this AI-generated image deer. So not only is it gaining a reputation as the AI buck on social media, but what I think may have happened was I think Spook probably is in pursuit of a world record class typical and has photos of him, but I believe he may be using AI, a fake AI deer to post on the internet until he actually kills it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like the deer looks similar to what he posted. The AI one he posted looks real similar to the real one, but he's not exactly posting the exact pictures of the real buck just because he doesn't want people to recognize it potentially.
Know where he's hunting.
Like that might be what's happening, but it was still interesting because if Spook Span is out there posting AI deer on the internet as like, hey, I'm after this buck this year, that's pretty fucking gay.
That one dude that you sent the picture of in our other group chat.
So you can look at Spook Span's Facebook if you want to see this. It's out there.
It's not, the picture's not there anymore.
You took a good thing I screenshotted it then, huh? Yeah. It's just an interesting thing. I've been dabbling with the idea, and crucify me here if you want because I hate AI more than anyone. I've been dabbling with the idea of potentially using AI to take pictures that we actually have of deer, like my trophy photos or the velvet scouting photos or the trail camera picture photos, and using AI to put them together for thumbnails a little bit cleaner than what my Photoshop does. So like, yes, it's using AI, but it's not like reaction face of a fake grizzly bear or reaction face of a fake deer. Like I'm trying to use it to just do a better job of photoshopping what I have in my mind to the screen because it's hard for me to do that.
I saw a stat yesterday on Facebook. It said 65% of millennials hate AI and hate the usage of it, but like 85% of them use it. You would fall into that category.
Yeah,
I've hating it and also using it.
I've used AI for searching on Google, and I've used AI to help write like summaries for videos in the past. But once you do it a few times, once you use AI to do like a description of a YouTube video, it doesn't. You can start picking out which ones are AI. So I stopped using it because it's like I could write that up. Like it takes just as much time for me to write up what you just said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've been dabbling with the idea of using AI for some thumbnail stuff. I don't know. The shirt I'm wearing was generated with AI with the seasons left, but I guess it's here to stay. But
it's definitely not going anywhere.
Boo drones, boo AI, kill more does. I'm excited. I'm excited because I have the rest of the day to do deer projects outside with good weather. My wife and daughter are at a family party thing for their grandma going through their clothes or some shit. So like,
I'm going golfing.
Fuck all that, dude. I'm going in the deer woods today. This is my West Virginia buck from this year. Working on my man cave. I got the trim up. It'll be painted soon. My office will be a pretty sweet place to record some videos and work on videos and watch hunting and have all my deer on display. So that's a work in progress. Bucks are showing up at my new house.
Kentucky's heating up.
Kentucky's hotter than hell. There was like a 3-day period where there was bucks on camera all day long. All things are good. Best shape we've ever been in our lives. We are going to go do some deer shit. Thank you for listening. We appreciate the audience who tunes in for us to talk about ourselves. We appreciate the audience that tunes in because they just want to see the deer camp content. We're going to have a lot of that coming this fall. Don't worry about that, guys. The audience that tunes in, knowing that we're not the experts, we appreciate you the most. If I butcher your comments when I read them off, type better. Crossbows are not easier or harder to kill deer with than regular bows.
Think that's it.
Wise Eye Trail cameras have been awesome. We could probably pursue a sponsorship with them if anyone in the world would sponsor us because we spend a lot of money on their cameras, but they are super fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Next week, maybe Pavlik's. I don't know. Fuck it. I'll try and get them on.
Next week's holiday.
What is the 4th of July weekend?
4th of July weekend.
Yeah, we got to figure out when we're going to podcast. Bucks are out there, though. Get your fucking trail cameras out in the woods because they look big.
Shoot your bow.
Yeah, don't worry about that part.
Shoot your bow.
Okay.
I think we're out.
144 Deer Shot Podcast.
We are out.
Out.